Hey folks, it's Ben. I'm here with our Hoover vacuum. This is our pet cleaning model. We've showed you a demo and we've also done a review on it. We're very happy with it. But we did have an incident recently where we did suck up an item that caused the beater bar to actually freeze. And when the machine's running, I'm going to take the tank off, that causes the belt to essentially spin. It's the weak link, and that's a good thing. But what happened is it now kind of has a thumping noise because I think we kind of burnt a groove in the belt. So what we're going to do is actually replace the belt. We did purchase this unit at Canadian Tire, so it has a description of the part number you're supposed to have, and Canadian Tire had a descriptive part of, okay, this part number matches this part number, and sure enough, they had one. Actually, they had a bag that actually comes with 2 belts, so we'll have a spare if we don't lose it over time, and then we have the one we're going to use here. Changing a belt on a vacuum is typically pretty easy. This one's no different than most others. We have 6 screws to remove, so what we're going to do now is probably cut to a quick time lapse, and I'm going to take these belts off and I'll meet you when the cover's off. Okay, so as you saw, we took out their 6 screws that hold it on there. And so now what we have is the beater bar assembly and the belt, and it's attached to the motor of the vacuum that also runs the vacuum mechanism on the other side. This belt is assembled this side out. Now, traditionally, there's 2 ways you can take these off. You can either just kind of work it off the motor by just turning it a little bit, and now the belt is off. And then you just pull the beater bar out because it's usually only held in by those screws. And so here's our old belt, and it's not that old, but here's a point where the beater bar stopped but the motor kept spinning, and so it's kind of not the same thickness, so it kind of made a rattling sound, the thump 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 that we were getting. That's what we didn't run it for the demo, but that's what we're trying to replace. So the belt technically is good and it would technically run, but it's kind of annoying, and I like to make videos, so installation is reversal of removal, if that's the phrase. The beater bar is not that dirty, so I'm not going to clean it, but if this were excessively covered in string, hey, now's your time. And the bearings are in the end here, so once again, they'll just sit up here. So you put your belt around, and in this case, it's got a clutch mechanism that it uses, and that's the pedal on top. So when you press this down, it puts tension on the belt and spins the beater bar, or it doesn't, depending on what you want it to do. So I'll go ahead, and what I'm going to do is loop the belt around the motor, and there's a little space beside it to allow you to do that. Oh, I'm hitting the guard, my bad. So there's the motor. Oops. So we've got that around. Now I'm just going to bring the beater bar back down into the holding squares that are here. And this one will be a little bit tighter. And these are square, so as long as it's in the hole just right, you'll be fine. Make sure the belt's lined up. That might help too. There. So the beater bar is back in its squares. The bar is over the motor. And yeah, releasing the belt obviously helped it get on there again. When you click the belt down, it puts tension on the belt, and that's how it engages the beater bar, but that makes sense too. So we learn as we go along here. So it's on the motor, it's on there, it's in the pulleys, it looks good. It will auto align. Now we just put the screws back in, and we'll give it a spin. Okay, so the cover's back on, belt's still on, cool. So last thing we're going to do, of course, is test run it. But you got any questions about your vacuum, and I've dropped a bunch of dirt on the ground, please feel free to ask. If you like the video, like it. Please subscribe to our channel, depending on which one you saw this on. It could be on Turbo 231 or it could be Red Barn Homestead, probably on both. So if you see this video on a different channel, it could be one of those, and that's fine. And with that, I guess you guys can have a good day. We're going to run it here in the room, make sure everything's cool, and we'll close with that.